So as I deliver the service to you, like, wow, these guys are good, they're so careful, they're so this, they're so that. You will mention my name to somebody else. Through your connection, I will extend to somebody else. That person, having been pleased and satisfied, will also mention my name to somebody else. Oh, do you know this brand? Do you know this brand? That is how I get to build my network. Nobody brought it from heaven. So the first thing is to learn. Don't say you are too old to learn anything. Learn. And don't say there's a job that is above you. One of the things that changed my life, you talked about mindset earlier. One of the things that helped me really is that one day I woke up and I said, there's no job that's above me. Right. I can do anything. You know, I'm not putting myself in that I want a 100k job, paying job. I mean, do I have the skills to earn me 100k? If I don't have it, let me go and learn it. Right? I don't want to build unnecessary fantasies in my head that I'm not looking for a job that will pay me $500,000. Do I have the skill to attract it? Life is about attraction. So if you learn and you have the skill, as you dispense the skill excellently, you will be able to attract other things that you need in your life. That's how it works for me. That's how I think it works for everybody.
And that is very intelligent. You said a lot of things, but like hold on into people would become your PR manager when you can give them value. That is something, and it actually brings us to the next question: credibility. Credibility is a factor when you're building anything, building a career, building a business, building even normal human relationship. Credibility is very important. So I want to ask that how can you build credibility when you don't have the experience, like when you don't have the much ability to do those things? And how can people trust you? And also, when and how can you stop freebies? When? Because as much as you're trying to build credibility, you know, there'll be some times where you have to do some free jobs. There are times where you want to like just out of relationship, let's just do it. But like, when do you draw the line? When do you say, okay, this is the point, I'm saying I'm not doing this again? And how do you convince people to trust you?
You know, one of the greatest things that you're going to have to do as a person is to sell yourself and know how to sell yourself. That's one of the most important things you can do for yourself. Learning how to sell yourself. What was the first question before? How do you know how to stop freebie? Credibility. Yes. Okay. I'll give you an example. There was a client I was working with one time, and along the line I got very busy with other people's work. Because the client's kind of job was not really in the area of my interest. My interest is in knowledge-based industry. Okay, I want to be the guy who is helping people dispense their knowledge. You know, so the idea of I'm a tailor, I'm a fashion designer, I want you to go and make videos for me. Yes, I'm okay. I could do it, you know, for the money, but it's not my, you know, it doesn't excite me.
Place of interest.
Nah, it's not. So there's a client at the time I had who is in fashion, and we've been working together for over 6 months. She's been happy, she's been good. But I got more busy with, you know, my knowledge based, really my passion, my thing. I started withdrawing somehow. There was an imbalance, and she started complaining. Seggun, what's going on? You're no longer taking my brand seriously. You're no longer making posts as you should, and all of that. And I apologized to her, and I said, I'm sorry. First is, thank you so much for trusting me to take care of these things for you, right? My relationship with you means the most to me. You have become like a family, and there's no way in the world I could joke with your business. I know it's your life. So I made some corrections. What did I do? I hired some people to work with me. Right? Now, the problem of that is there's this skepticism of, I'm just starting out I cannot have money to pay people. I just want to see, you will kill your brand if you want to eat all the money by yourself. You will kill it, because there's no way you can perform at best all by yourself. You will wear yourself out. If you have like 10 brands that you're servicing, only you want to make their videos, edit, post, bros, I'm a social media manager, I'm a this, you will kill yourself. Have a team. It could be just 2 people, right? Give them a good take home. From this your 10 clients, or even if it is 5, just lock out and say 2 clients money, we're paying those people. I'll be eating the remaining 3. Don't be greedy. Greed.
Can you stop shaking this table?
Greed is going to break people's business, and it's a mind thing. You know, greed is a mind thing. that I just want to make the money for myself. I need to buy a car. I need to get a house. It's not about you. Your business has the capacity to grow and do greater things in the future. Give it all it needs. You need to build a team. Credibility. Because you cannot do excellence is important. If you get to a point where people are beginning to lose trust in what you can deliver, if you have their time or not, what happens to your brand? You will lose the clients. They will lose trust in you. They will lose confidence, and you will lose the business. Now, when do you know how to stop doing free stuff? There's something that's called the law of perception, right? It's first, how do you see yourself? The way you see yourself is the way people will see you. And this is funny because I don't think many people are talking about this. You see, grooming is everything. If you're wearing cheap clothes, you continue to do free services because people will say, what do you do? Where is money back? People can judge you, they can look at you, they can rate you. This is psychological. Nobody makes the rule, but that's how it just works. You're going to see a client and you're just wearing one kind of slippers with some kind of wrap jean, and I'm not saying if that's what all you have, that's okay, but there's a way you can revamp it, and look expensive. Looking expensive is important in the business of creative. If you don't learn to look expensive, people will pay you coin. People will pay you coin. And they would, for example, somebody called me, a friend of mine, called me recently and said, oh, Mr. Seggun, there's this video of mine. Oh, I love your work. You're so good. You guys are so good. Blah, 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 blah. I said I would love to work with you. I really would love to work with you. But I just want you to. There's this video I and my brother did where it was starting a new channel for his kids. Blah blah blah. And I just want you to edit. Give us your first edit. Let us see what your editing looks like. So that if we're able to see what your editing looks like, we'll know if we'll proceed to work with you. And I say, sorry, you're not my client. I'm not. There's no way in the world I'm doing a free job for you. That to edit that video. First off, all right. You shot the video, right? Say, yeah, well, shot it. All right. I could do because it's you and I know you. I'll do 150K for you to help you put it together. She was like, what? It's me, oh. I said, madam, it's me, oh. It's me too. An average guy who does not have so much going on for him will take it because he's trying to sell himself. Don't do that to yourself. I knew right there that this guy, you're not my client. You can't afford me. You have been seeing my work, right? And now you need me to prove myself again? I'm not going to do that.
Right, the line.
I'm not going to prove myself. I don't have to prove myself to you. I am enough. So guys who are just starting out, there's a time you just these things but unfortunately people just like to I don't want to offend this person when I say they start paying me. Don't do that. You have made, like, let's say for instance, you have shot 4 videos. The person has liked it. They are great. Like, they gave you the opportunity. You can be the one to select brands that you work with. You know what? Let me just do this for you for the next 2 weeks. Let's see how it goes. Put a timeline when you're starting for free. Don't say, I just want to be doing it and I'll use it to learn. Don't do that. Put a timeline. Say, I'm doing this with you for the next 1 month. All right? After 1 month, we'll have a different discussion. You should be firm. You should think like a businessman or like a business person. You are in business of making money for yourself.
Even as a creative.
Right? Even as a creative. And it's not just about you. Right? There are people need help. You have a lot of people out there that needs your help. If you don't need money for yourself, make money because of them. Do you understand? I say this to my friend. If you guys don't need money, I need money. For real, don't make money for yourself. Make money because of me. Because I have a lot of people that I need to take care of. I need all the cash I can lay my hands on. Okay. And that's very important.
Right. That's amazing. Thank you very much. That is very deep. And we cannot have this conversation because you've been saying some very deep things and how to start up, be bold and all. Yeah. But we cannot have this conversation without we talking about failures and rejection. Yeah. So now let's go to that place.
Yeah. I'm excited.
What's that major failure you had in your journey or you faced in your journey, and how did you recover from it? What's that major one that you're like, if not for God?
It's actually funny.
So please go ahead.
The worst thing that's happened in my life is that there was this guy I knew one time, a big guy, very rich guy, has fantastic connections, and I thought the guy would be my helper.
Oh my God, you see this thing? Very important.
I thought that, because I had like direct access to the guy, like 100% access. I was like a go-to person for this guy. So I thought it would, open doors for me. he would just mention me to his friends. He would, and guess what? The guy did not. He didn't. So at that point, that was when I learned that I had to go back to the word of God. Don't put your trust in any man. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean on all your understanding, all your ways. Acknowledge God, and He will guide your path. The person that has become my biggest resource today is the person I least thought about. Right? So what the biggest failure that I have had, I have a different perception about life. Like I said to you earlier, I have different philosophies. My biggest failure were the times I didn't start. The time I thought that I needed much money, I needed to know a kind of person, those were my down points. The times I didn't believe in myself. I'm serious. Those were the highest points in my life where I knew, I failed. Because I should have believed in myself long enough, early enough. I would have started earlier. If I started 10 years ago, I would not be here. Do you understand? We would have made more impact. Maybe by now I will have up to 2,000 persons working with me because I love to have a lot of people work with me. I want to help a lot of people, right? So if I had started earlier, I would have had more money to pay a lot of people to do more things and all of that, make more people happy, and all of that. So for me, my failure was that I didn't start early. I didn't start when I should have started. I didn't have faith in myself. I didn't believe in myself that I got it. That this thing that I'm doing is going to be worth the while, right. Or that I had the potential. I believed in myself. So for me, that was it for me. That was I didn't start early. That was my failure so far. But for rejection
how
is.
How did you recover from it? That's that part of the question.
Yeah, how did I recover from rejection? Right. The biggest rejection of my life came from my home, my family. When you grew up in a place where people have not seen more, so they think that all that they see was all that there is, right? So my biggest point was my mom. Many years ago, she used to be on my nerve. She didn't believe in me that I could do anything reasonable in my life. In fact, she thought that I was useless. It was crazy. She would say, "See this person you guys started together. He has this, he has that." Those crazy shit. And I used to say, "Mom, just chill. My life is different. My fight is different. It's not as if you guys are giving me any empowerment. Now God empower me. So allow God to empower me in peace. Leave me alone."
Right.
So there was a time that it became overwhelming for me. There was a time that I was constantly thinking that this is my family safe. Why did I come from the wrong family? Right. I had those moments in my life where these people, they're not supporting me, they're not giving me any money, and they are on my nerve. Can you guys excuse me? So I had to go through a lot of emotions.
Right.
And I had to, God had to teach me. At some point, I had to sit myself down and say, you know what? I'm going to use this energy coming from my family as a fuel to pump myself and keep going forward, instead of using it as a bullet to kill myself. Right? So it's just my mind. Some way I'm just able to see things differently and do differently.
That is why mindset is very important.
It's everything.
Even when you're going through the downtime,
your mindset is everything. The way you see. Now, people when you say mindset, it sounds ambiguous. It's basically how you see things, how you see yourself in every situation, how you see other people react to you in every situation, how you see life happen for you in everything that you do. That's mindset. It's just a mental picture. That's it.
That's very intelligent. So lastly, on rejection, I know rejection can be very personal, because you mentioned something about your mom not accepting what you're doing and all. So how can, as a young adult who is listening to you right now, how can that person build resilience against no, when you are always having no? Because most times people would always come to say, I had 1,000 no's before I got my first yes. So how can you build resilience against no?
For me, like I said, God found me.
Right.
I didn't want to say I found God, because there's no way I could have found God. It was God who found me. So that was a miracle of my life. God found me, and that changed everything for me. So it changed how I saw external influences. The impact that external influences had on me was different. I saw it differently because of how God just helped my mind. I worked. So I'm able to just not see rejection as rejection, really. It's for me, it's natural. So what works for me may not work for any other person. But if God does not find you, find God. It will help you a lot as a young adult. And why did I say God found me? Was that at some point in my life, I had the audacity to be by myself. When I say be by myself, I mean I left my family. I started living alone. And that happened since I got to school. When I got get admission into school many years back, I just knew that until things become easy and great for me, I'm not going back home. That's the kind of mindset I had. Until I figure my life out, I'm not going back home. And tell you what, until I really did figure it out, I didn't go back home. Because I knew there was nothing there for me. If there was something there, I would have gone back. But there was nothing there than downtrodden. They was keep me down and all of that. If you are like that, you came up from a family where they're always beating you down, making you feel less of yourself. Why do you want to keep going back there? The truth is, nobody makes the rule about life. Nobody. Take a risk. Two things can happen. You could fail. What happens when you fail? You have learned another way to try again. But what if you don't fail? What if? Just what if? Something that has happened to me is that I'm so flexible in my mind. As I'm talking to you right now, if I get a call to be in Abuja right now, I'm packing my shit. I'm selling off my shit.
As usual.
Do you understand? I am not connected to anything that, this thing is so dear to my heart, this place. Somebody say your destiny is tied to a place. Hello, your destiny is progressive. And there's time for everything. There's time for you to be in a particular place. When you have used up that time, you will know that it's time to move. But people will not move. Ignorantly, will stay there. They will still, we die here. Like Lagos, for instance. Everybody wants to be in Lagos. That's if not be Lagos, not be anywhere. And then they're there for many years. No success in their life, nothing to show for it. Why? Maybe you're supposed to be in Ondo State. The same thing you're saying in Lagos. You're saying in Ondo State. Maybe you will say, maybe in Kwara State. Maybe it's in the north. Maybe in Kano, in Taraba. Why not go? Be flexible, right? If you develop flexibility, rejection has nothing on you. It has nothing, believe me.
That's beautiful because, I've learned in my young age. I've actually learned that doing something, as human, we should be like water that take the form of wonderful, because water has no stopping block. Whether there is a blockage, there is no blockage, water would always move. And that is actually very interesting. So the next episode of the Young Minds Corner podcast, we'll be talking about the pressure to blow up overnight, especially in this digital age, right? Yeah. And I want you to talk about how to stay patient and focus on the long-term gain while the result is showing very slow.
Yeah.
These are very personal to me. So please.
Yeah. Thank you for that very beautiful question. It just reminded me of a lot. You know that the first millions I made, I blew them off out of impatience. I remember losing, I don't know if it's safe to mention figures on your podcast, but I remember losing a large chunk of money because I was impatient. I wanted to make it really quick. I wanted to blow. I wanted to go in the direction that everybody's going. For instance, crypto. Everybody's going to crypto. Oh. You carry great money, you go and choke in crypto because they say it's crypto, and now you have lost. It's forex, so you can't do forex. Now you have lost. What now becomes of you? Life. If you are, for instance, you are 20 years old, do you want to die at 22? No. Chances are that you want to live up to 80 years. That means you have 60 more years to try life, to explore life. Why not be with you? What's pushing your life? Can you chill? And the only people that need this thing, see, I said that poverty is a problem. See, if you grew up in a poor home, there's more work to do than to want to blow overnight. You will not blow overnight except you want to do ritual. If you don't do ritual and you want to do handwork, like render a service, do something people will pay you for, you need to build trust. It takes time to build anything of value. It does take time to build anything that will last long. It takes time. So all the pressure and the problem, the part of that problem is from parents. There are some parents who put some kind of pressure on their children, making unnecessary demands from them. For instance, I made a video recently where I talked about, I used members as an example. Your child, after graduating, gets to go for service. Once they start saving, you start demanding money from them. How much are they being paid? 33,000. Some of these couples are living in an expensive city. They have to sort out a lot of things. The 33,000 is going to the tiny wind. Once they get it, boom, it's gone. And in the midst of that, you are expecting them to send you 20,000, send you 15,000 as their parents. You're saying there's no food in the household. Madam, if you want to die, go and die. There's a time for growing. Something that helped me, really, I talked about learning a lot of things. Something that helped me was while I was saving, for example, I started saving. It was the first time in my life I saved up money. I saved up 100k when I was saving, and I used that 100k to take courses, not to buy food, but to take courses. Some of the knowledge, some of the courses I took that time, I've not even used them till now, but the knowledge is still right in my head till date. Whenever there's a need for them, I just go to my archive and check out knowledge and use. Right? So there's a lot of parents needs to first understand that they have a part to play. You have to constantly educate your children. Tell them that you love them. Give them time. Don't put pressure on their life. Right. That you must blow now. They will be forced to go and do things that are not necessary, that are not convenient. They will be forced. They will be forced to do things that are not convenient. So give them time. Be patient with them. Be patient. You're going to get a lot of things from patience. Right? It's just like planting mango and you want to start eating the fruit today. How does it work? So give yourself time. Whether you're a young person, like I said, if you came from a poor background, from a house that poverty is dealing with them, bros, you have a lot of work to do. And the first work that you have to do is you have to look for how to get out of that place. Get out. And while you are out, you are trying to climb the ladder and you are carrying people along with you as you climb. Everybody will fall. You climb first. When you have climbed, you have enough, build staircase. It's easy for me to carry somebody on my back on a staircase than carry somebody on my back climbing ladder. Do you see that now? Patient with yourself. Give yourself time. I promise you. I didn't look like this 2 years ago. Don't you understand? I wish this was a video podcast. I didn't look like this 2 years ago. When I saw my pictures 2 years ago, I looked at myself and said, God, I'm grateful. Look at me. I look like one tiny fish, dry fish 2 years ago. Today, that by God's grace, I have small flesh on my body. We are looking good. We're able to afford good clothes and all of that. 2 years ago, I had one slippers, one shoe. Just 2 years ago here.
Right. Like the time.
Do you understand?
And there's one thing I've actually grown to understand is that we do not understand what God's plan is for our life the next minute. Yes. So you just have to be consistent with it.
If you're impatient because you want to blow on time, you will lose. You will miss the point.
Right.
And when you miss the point, it might take you another 10-15 years for you to come back to that point.
That's very true. That's very true. We just have to give ourselves grace and be consistent with what the Lord is saying.
That's why you also need to be exposed to people who understand how life works.
Right.
Be with people that knows how life works, because they will constantly guide you. They will constantly, don't do that one. Okay, chill. That guidance is very important. But unfortunately, parents, everybody is on TikTok now doing video, dancing and twerking. Parents have no get time to guide anybody. It's crazy.
That is interesting, and that is where mentorship, positioning, environment, and the right things come into play. That is interesting. I'm so excited about this conversation. Honestly, I'm very excited. I'm very happy. And you cannot leave this conversation without us talking about PR and connection in itself. So I would like you to share some PR tips with myself and my corner mates. Let's talk about networking for a bit. As young adults, we've grown to understand that networking is about getting contact, like just meeting people, getting contact. And I have grown to understand that networking is beyond that. So what's the right way to build the right relationship, real relationships that opens doors for you?
Interesting. It is just in one word, and I hope I don't have to explain. I wish I don't have to explain. It's just in one word. Be a polished human being. By polished, I mean be sane, have common sense, build an incredible character. It's not far-fetched. Just be intentional about your life. Have solid people they know that you can be trusted. When people know that you can be trusted, they know that they can take it to the bank, anything that they are doing with you. Nothing is more interesting than that. And above all, you need to be close to God. God owns everything in this world. That's how I see the word. Trust God. God is a big factor. Let me give you an example. There's one day I needed money while I was in school. I needed money for something urgent, very important. And there was this song that came to my mind. You own the universe, you own everyone on earth, you own. Just that part of that song came to my mind. That two line, you own the universe, you own as I sang it and meditated on it for some time, somebody's name just dropped in my mind. And I called the person, I said, I needed X amount of money. The person said, send your account. Why? God owns the universe. God has answers to every question. So if you're on God's side, if you're God's own, you just always know what to do. You just always know what to do. You're just always right. Because God is constantly guiding you. Right? And the issue of character is, you cannot be on God's side and you don't have polished character. You have great attitude, great positive attitude. When people are working with you, they know they can trust you. When they're dealing with you, they know they are safe. These things are very important. It's that simple. Life is not easy. It's not hard though.
It's the way you said it. I really wish my corner mates can see your face right now. But that is interesting. You mentioned character. I feel like one of the things we're actually derailing on in this generation is character. And everyone should actually work on it. Thank you very much. As we wrap up, I want us to talk about, you've been saying a lot about God, your faith and all. I want us to talk about your faith, how you were able to, and I want us to ask this question because in this generation or in our society, a lot of persons believe or have this mindset where we leave the responsibility of a man to God to do for us. So I want us to talk about how your faith was able to build you. You've said a lot of things about how God built you, or God was the one who actually unpicked you and taught you quite a number of things that you knew. So how would you say that your faith helped you to build this version of yourself?
My faith is everything to me. It's everything. It's one gift that my mom gave me, took us to church where we learned the word of God, where we understood the character of God and, how to take advantage and get better positioning with God. And this thing is more practical than, it's more experienced than said. I don't even know how to put it in word. But you cannot go about life without faith. You cannot. Whether in God or in something else. There are things that you want to do, you require an higher force of influence to help you do it. I'm sure, and for me, God is what I found. Right? Anybody can find another thing, but for me, it was God that worked for me. God found me, like I said. I didn't find God. God found me. And I learned to use the word of God. The funny thing is that God made the earth, the heaven and the earth by talking. And the Bible says God made us in his image. It means we can also make everything we want by talking. So I learned that from God. And that in a big way has shaped my faith. As little as God as I'm going out, I have favor with men. People who get to see me, they get to like me. I say things that make sense to them. I say things that solves their problem. As short as that prayer is, I make them every day and they work for me. Because I believe, because of my faith in God, I believe that is how my life should work. I'm not disadvantaged in this world. I can never be disadvantaged because I have God. I can call God at any point in time and he hears me. So it's more experiential. I don't even know how to explain it. It's just experiential for me. It's just really experiential. But as you move close to God, as you open your heart, as you move close to God, you will see that there's nothing in this world that is too big for you to have. You can have anything. You can access anyone. You see that network connection that I used to say is so hard. It's not hard. Because God knows how to unpick, and just bring them to you. Or take you to places, conversations. You could be eating out somewhere and you said something and somebody far away just heard you and said, you said something just now, and that becomes it. Right? So God, I don't know how to, God is just God. Just open your heart to God. Let him guide you. Understand that I just understand I'm nothing without God. right? I'm just nothing. God gave me everything that I have and everything that I will have. Everything. And that's how it just is for me.
That's amazing. Wash, wash, wash. What more can I say? I'm really excited. I have one particular question to ask you, but we would have to play the corner game.
Okay.
Before, I know you've been anticipating. I have been anticipating this game as well, right? So we're going to play the corner game. Are you ready for the corner game?
Yes, I am ready.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Are you sure you are ready?
I don't know if I'm sure.
So yeah, we have rules to play this game, right? You don't have to think. So you don't have to think.
Okay.
You just give me
An answer.
the first answer that comes to your mind, right?
I'm going to trust. Fingers crossed, man.
Okay, let's do this. What's the key to making money?
Walk.
Okay.
Don't be lazy.
Okay, I love that. PR industry forever or start something totally new?
Both.
I said.
You said don't think. You said mention the first thing that comes to your mind.
Really?
That's what you said.
Is
You said mention the first thing that comes to your mind. That was what comes to my mind. Both.
Okay, no problem. I won't fight. 10 loyal clients or 100 one-time customers.
10 loyal clients.
Okay, I won't fight. Okay, the biggest mistake young professionals make.
Waste their money.
What kind of answers are that? Oh my god. Okay, define success.
To define success
You're thinking.
would be
thinking.
I'm thinking.
You're
Really.
thinking.
Nothing is coming to my mind.
I love it.
Define success without thinking.
Yes. What success actually means to you? That is it.
Huh. I can't
I won this game.
I can't even think again. My thoughts are just scattered. Because over time, this is
my
that
God.
meant different things to me. But to define success is state of completeness. Yeah, that's it.
State of completeness.
Yeah.
After how
in your mind.
After how many hours?
I'm sorry. That one was too deep.
Okay, that is why it is called the corner game.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so one book, podcast, or resource that changed your life.
And What You're Worth by Brian Tracy.
Come again with that.
And What You Are Worth by Brian Tracy.
Okay, that is amazing. So because of At the Corner, we believe so much in speaking into existence.
Yeah.
I have this question for you. You don't have to think about it.
Okay.
You just have to give me an answer.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, so if you get an invite to speak at a TED Talk, what would you talk about?
Purpose and passion.
That's incredible. Oh my goodness, I love every of your response. Thank you for opening yourself up to the corner. So the question I said I wanted to ask was one mindset every young adult need to shift to succeed in any industry they find themselves.
Nobody has to aid. Nobody has to aid. You can do it. That's just the mindset. You understand? It's not so deep.
Oh my goodness.
They don't get to aid, bro. You understand? Nobody has to aid.
Right.
Anybody who's cleaning it out there, you can kill it too. Just do it. You understand? Just do it.
Oh my god. Okay, so lastly, for a young adult who is listening to you right now, trying to build up something, what's that ultimate piece of advice you would give to a young adult who is trying to build up something from wherever, from nothing, and they don't know where exactly to start from? So I want you to speak to the art of the young adults.
Don't be sorry. Really. Don't be sorry to take any risk. You can make mistakes, but never be sorry. It's your life, baby. Don't be sorry. And you got this. There's something that I learned many years back, that everything that comes to your mind, every idea that comes to you is actually yours. That's why it came to you. What you make of it is yours. So if an idea comes to your mind for you to build something, it's because it has your name on it. Go for it. And Be open for collaborations. Don't want to figure everything out by yourself. I just want to wow people. Don't surprise anybody. Say I want to surprise them. I want to catch them unaware. You will catch yourself unaware. Because you will make mistakes and you will get tired, you'll be depressed, you will lose hope and you will lose your faith and confidence. But when you surround yourself with doers, go-getters, this person can do this person can do this, collaborate with people. It is better to have 1% share of something than to be bankrupt. If you have 1% share in a living organization, it's better than when you're bankrupt. So be patient with yourself, and be audacious. Be very audacious. Stop at nothing until you're just sure that you've done all that you could do. Don't stop working. Work and work and work and work. I mean, I love to work. Like I said, there's no job that's above me. There are people that, because of the environment, that just kind of jobs that are available in that place. Don't say no to it. Do it. While you're doing that thing, you'll be learning something. That thing will expose you to people who probably know something else. Right? You have free access to those people and learn from them. And you don't know where life is taking you. You might eventually need what you have learned from that person later in life. So don't throw away any opportunity that comes to you. They say you come and do something. Say, me, I'm bigger than that. You are not bigger, sir. Except you have $2.2 billion in your account. You are not bigger. Take every opportunity that you can get to improve the quality of your life.
Thank you very much. I've learned so much from this conversation, if I do say so myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I am sure that my corner mates, my favorite person in the world, is learning much as well. So how can we find you? Because like you've been mentioning your TikTok, your this, your that, like how can we find you on the social media?
Okay, my username on social media is Seggun Culture Shaper. Now the Seggun is G SEGGUN Culture Shaper. That's it. On every platform. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So dearest corner mates, I know we've had the time of our life. I know that with everything you've listened to today, it is that time for you to take that bold step, regardless of the regardless. I hope you enjoyed every bit of this conversation, listening to it as much as I did enjoy recording this particular episode. Please do well to drop a comment when you listen. Share this podcast with somebody who you know would need it, your friends, your enemy, even your enemy, because yes, your enemy needs to find light as well. Okay, please show Mr. Seggun all of the love from the corner. Okay, yes. So what more can I say? Thank you so much for listening to this point. If you listen to this point, you are the realest corner mates. Who dares? Okay, yeah, so you can follow the Young Minds Corner podcast on all of our socials. The Young Minds Corner _podcast on Instagram, the Young Mind Corner _podcast on X, formerly known as Twitter. And yes, you can follow your favorite baby girl Biolami on all of my socials as well. Biolami, BIOLA _MMY on Instagram, and it's BIOLA MMY _ on X platform. You know that I will never ever end any Young Minds Corner conversation without saying this. So now, do your part. Leave the rest to God. God can never ever mismanage your life. And if you think God mismanage your life, it's actually even your thinking. God can never mismanage your life, and that's on period. From all of us, for myself and Mr. Seggun at the corner, we are saying to you, bye. Bye, guys. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.